Video for my team selection here for the upcoming round of 16 here in the FIFA Club World Cup fantasy game. Pretty decent rank here. I'll show you guys kind of my team. What's going on right here for match day 3? I guess an okay to good, leaning towards a good match day. Unfortunate that Thiago Silva doesn't play. I thought he for sure would. The most important game. I felt like it only made sense that he would play, but hey, he gets benched, and that kind of screwed us over. The Chelsea lineups as well, I'm sure, screwed not only me over, but a lot of you guys. Boca Juniors, incompetency, can't even win against Auckland City. They even managed to just tie because of an own goal from what I saw. I didn't watch the game, but stuff like that, if Sanchez had played us another clean sheet in the bank, could have been better, but I guess I can't complain. It's not the worst. But let's focus on the round of 16 here coming up. Not every matchup is decided. I'm filming this on Thursday, so we still have Real Madrid and Man City, Juventus. I'm sure Juventus and Man City are coming out of that team or out of that group. It's already decided, but the placement is still yet to be determined. We'll see, but yeah, we can have an idea of how the draw is going to complete here. So I'm just going to do this video in advance because we kind of already have an idea how those two groups are going to shape basically. But yeah, it's going to be Al Hilal, probably City, Real Madrid, and Juventus, right? We have that idea already. That's my prediction at least, but we'll go based off of this. So I would recommend you guys to first of all pick players from both sides of the bracket. What I mean by that is divide this in half here. I have the Google bracket, but you want to pick players from this side of the bracket here, and you want to fill, guys with this side of the bracket. Don't have, way too many players from one side of the bracket as compared to the other one. Like, try to even it out as much as you can would be my recommendation, because as you can see here, certain things like, if you pick a keeper, they can end up bumping into each other, right? If you pick, say, an Inter keeper and a Chelsea keeper, they're going to play on the same day on the next round and stuff like that. Try to make it so they don't cross paths is basically what I'm trying to say. You got to focus on that, because then you're just going to have to either not have two shots at a clean sheet, or you're going to have to do a transfer on a keeper, which at this stage in the tournament, you really don't want to be doing things like that. You want to prepare a team here. Since we have this, wild card at our disposal, you want to make a team that's going to last you. So yeah, just looking at that, I guess I'll go make the general predictions on the matchups here that we already do have. Again, you guys know I'm a diehard Botafogo fan, but I'm not going to be biased about it. I'm just going to be realistic. It's a tough game. It's not like a walk in the park for any of the teams. I do think, media is going to push favoritism for Palmeiras, but I don't think it's going to be like that. I've already said, hey, before the group stage even started, we're going to shock people. We're a team that knows how to play. We flow very well. Our defense is underestimated. It led to a big shock for a lot of people in the group stage, and I would say we are favorites to win this game here. I could see a 1-0 type of game for us, and then even moving on to the next round, our players can still be useful against Benfica and Chelsea, guys. Like, if anything has been shown throughout the group stages, guys, that this favoritism that people place on Europe is kind of unrealistic at times. A lot of the European teams may not take this tournament as serious, so just things for you guys to watch out with. I will be picking Botafogo players because, like I said, I do think we're going to win. We could easily keep a clean sheet as well against Palmeiras, I think. And I think that's going to be what happens. So, guys like, I'm going to discuss further down, but guys like John, the Botafogo keeper, could easily, get you a 10-pointer with scouting bonus and save points. He's a good option. Just keep in mind, he might cross paths with a guy like, Summer if you want to pick him. Which kind of, you'll see down when I show you my team is kind of what happened. That's why I ultimately didn't end up going for John and other options. But yeah, Benfica and Chelsea, very, very hard to predict. I think it's one of the harder to predict matchups in the round 16. As if not all of them are hard to predict. I think all of them are pretty, there's no real huge favorite. Like, I'd say Inter has, a good favoritism here over Fluminense. But still may not be an easy game. A 1-0 fought win for Inter. I could see maybe even they draw and go to extra time. I could see that for both of these matchups here. Botafogo as well ultimately, but I think, Botafogo ends up pulling the win, either, a 1-0, but then, or chases it down in extra time. I think the biggest favorite in the round of 16 is PSG. I think this game right here is where I place high favoritism in PSG. I think they go through. So I think it'd be smart for you guys to let up on PSG players. Maybe even not. Like, let's say the result doesn't come and upset happens, right? Which is very unlikely. Inter Miami upset PSG. Very unlikely to happen. You'd still be fine because a lot of people are still going to be loading up their teams with PSG players. So it's kind of like a risk you don't want to be taking. But let's say, on the other hand, PSG players do perform very well and everybody goes off, like guys like Hakimi, Kavara, and you don't have them. It's kind of like a stupid, it's a risk that you don't need to take. Like, just put the PSG players and you'll be fine. If they perform good, if they don't, you'll still be fine. Everybody will still have them, right? Flamengo, Bayern, tough game. I do think though you have to have Bayern players in your team because I feel like Bayern are gonna be favorites to win this thing. I think they're one of the teams competing to win. I like their assets. I'm gonna be having Bayern assets. They give you longevity as well in the team. Like, they're gonna be useful in the next round and then so forth because it's Bayern Munich. Same thing with PSG assets. Like, they're gonna be useful because they're a good, respectable team. If it does happen that PSG and Bayern go through here, you'd still be okay, like playing a guy like Elise, Vitinha, when both teams play each other because they're good assets, right? Here, Dortmund and Monterrey, again, another tough game. I wouldn't be loading up on Dortmund players personally. Like, I'm gonna have Guirassy because Guirassy is just that guy, right? He can score a hat trick in the Champions League. He's a guy you need to have, right? If you want to have a Dortmund defender, like, why not? I personally wouldn't because Monterrey look like a very competent side. I think both teams score here, if you want my opinion. Could be a fought 1-1 that goes to extra time. I could see that happening. I wouldn't give, Dortmund all that favoritism. Here, I don't. It might be right. Like, I think Juventus, City, like we talked about already. But either way, like, if those four teams end up settling in some sort of, whatever the matchup be, right? Al Hilal, Juventus, City, and who's the other team? Real Madrid, Al Hilal, City, and Juventus. Yeah, those four teams. Whichever matchup, like whichever way they go against each other, one or another, those are hard matchups to predict as well. So, yeah, just be careful on those because when we get the word later on, but yeah. But like I said, focus on having players from different sides of the brackets and try to focus on obviously the scouting bonus if you can. But with that said, like I said, I think Inter are slight favorites. Hard to predict. Botafogo, I think, go through here, and Botafogo players, people are gonna get a reality shock when they go through here and they become useful here and might even go through guys to the semis. I'm telling you, it's just one of those things. PSG and Bayern, I think Bayern and PSG meet here, and then from there on, it's kind of like tough to tell, right? Dortmund, I think it's the one that I'm least confident on, I'll be honest, just because Dortmund haven't shown anything incredible in this tournament yet. I wouldn't be shocked if Monterrey go through, I'll be honest, but Dortmund, I think you can back them to go through, that's fine. And then here, all like those four teams that are still yet to be decided, I think is very hard to predict. Like, even whoever plays Al Hilal, I think is very hard to predict. Like, this tournament is crazy, and Al Hilal are a very competent side. So just keep that in mind. Going on to the team that I did make here, guys, for the round of 16. I used the wild card, obviously. Like, everybody has a wild card. But I am using the chip. I am using the new chip on it. Because if there's any stage in the tournament that is going to be the most useful, I think, is this one. Where the matchups are slightly, quote-unquote, slightly easier to predict who goes through, but like, if you're going to use it, I think you got to use it now. Where, like, there's still games like PSG and Miami where you can back PSG pretty nicely to go through, right? But this is the team I made here. Okay. Donnarumma against Miami, goes unsaid, right? Sommer against Fluminense. Like I said, I really wanted to pick the Botafogo keeper, John. I think he can easily deliver a 10-pointer with saves, scouting, and clean sheet. Definitely look at him, guys. But just because of the days, like, them crossing paths, and obviously also along with me having defenders that I want, complete confidence are going to be playing, caused me to ultimately go with Sommer and Donnarumma. You guys will still see that I have the Botafogo double up. Jair and Vitinho, which you guys can see, both get scouting bonus points. Jair, and another thing that I want you guys to keep in mind, yellow cards, okay? Yellow cards, if a player gets... Well, it's not as important, I'll be honest. I do believe they reset now in the quarterfinals. So, obviously, unless a player's suspended, now you wouldn't pick them. But I think you're okay, actually, now that I think of. I was going to say watch out with the yellow cards because it's 2 for a player to get banned in the tournament. But I do believe they do reset in the quarterfinals. I think we should be okay there. But yeah, these are guys that don't really get carded a lot. Jair, it's kind of scary. The Botafogo center back, he's still kind of young. He could. There has happened a time once where he got a silly red card, but it's a risk I'm worth taking. Like it's he hasn't gotten carded at all. He scored a header goal the first match day. He's scouting bonus here with good clean sheet odds, like I told you. He can last you to the next round as well. I wouldn't. I don't think it's crazy for you to play Jair against Chelsea and Benfica. Okay, so I have the Botafogo double up. I have the Hakimi. Come on, you can't leave him out against Inter Miami. You have to. I have the PSG double up on defense, and then I have the PSG double up on the midfield. Kvara and Vitinha, great picks, guys. Vitinha is on pens. He can score. He can assist. Great piece. Along with Michael Olise. Olise, I mean, come on. He's going off. He's one of the best players in this tournament. Doesn't surprise me. I'm a Bayern fan. I've been watching him this Bundesliga season. The guy's unreal. Over in the Bundesliga fantasy side of things, he's probably the best player in the game. So this is no surprise to me. I think you got to have him. Musiala, I think you have to have Musiala as well. I had 10 million to pick in a midfielder after my team was basically complete. And looking at the options like Dembele, who knows, right? How many minutes he's going to be playing with the injury and stuff. Musiala did get a knock as well. But I think Musiala didn't even start any of the games yet. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he has not started any of the game in the group stage. I think company's taking him easy, resting him. But a game like this against Flamengo, he's going to have to start, I think. Still kind of slightly, very minimally worries me that he comes off the bench. But even then, like you guys saw, Musiala came off the bench, scored a hat trick against weak opposition. But it's not like he can't provide contributions against a team like Flamengo, right, off the bench. He's an incredible player. Like, I think Musiala and Elise are valid guys to have in the midfield. Guys that will last you for most of the tournament if they go through, and I do expect them to go through. Like, that midfield is very safe right here. These four, double Bayern, double PSG, completed by Jude Bellingham. I do, obviously, Real Madrid is going to be through. It's my guess, right? And whoever they play in the group stage, Jude Bellingham is always a good pick. Like, he offers you captaincy options as well. Another thing, captaincy options. Like, make sure you guys have good amount of different captains. Like, players that play in different games, because obviously you guys know you can have unlimited captaincy switches in this game. Here, with this team, I have 5 different captains, okay, that I can have. 5 different captaincy switches out of the 8 games available they're going to be played. I think that's pretty good. That's over half of the games played. I can have a different captain. Very useful, very underestimated to have a different captain for every different game, okay? Great opportunity for points. And then going on to the defense, guys, you guys saw, like, I'm picking high clean sheet odds, low ownership. Same thing with Ta. Ta, I think, is just the safe pick on the Bayern defense. Not for scouting, but I know he's going to play, and he's going to be useful for the next rounds to come. But Serbi actually does, believe it or not, get scouting bonus. Like, how? I don't know. I'm taking advantage of that, though. As a guy that basically plays every game for Inter. Inter going to have good clean sheet odds, the round 16 match. And Inter defense is always decently reliable on. And then, so even if they go through to the next round, whoever they play, there's still a good chance they may keep a clean sheet in that too. So a guy that can last you the next couple rounds. Scouting bonus, hence why I picked him, right? Midfield we already talked about. In my forwards, I have Guirassy. I think you got to have him. He plays Monterrey. Good opportunity for goals there. And then if they go through Dortmund and they play a team like whatever, Real, Man City, Juve, I'd still back him to be able to score. And yeah, this guy that scores hat tricks, comfortably picking him. Lautaro, favorable. He has He has good odds of scoring against Fluminense. And then if they go through Inter, play a team like whatever. Let me look at the bracket again. They probably play a team like, again, like one of those Juve, Benfica, Real Madrid. Those are still teams that Lautaro Martinez can score on. We know this, so hence why I picked him, right? And he's a captaincy option as well, obviously. Like, yeah. Igor Jesus, guys, for 4.1 million is a joke. Like, he's such an enabler on your team. Me as a Botafogo fan, this guy plays 90 minutes. This guy has scored in PSG. This guy scored match day 1. This guy is underestimated, okay? He's going to be going to Nottingham Forest in the Premier League, which I'm predicting him to do very well there. It's already basically confirmed that. This is a Premier League level striker, guys, okay? Don't look at him, see that he's in a Brazilian team that already got out of the group, beating PSG, by the way, if you guys are still underestimating Brazilian teams. But this is a Premier League striker right here for 4.1 million in a game where I think he has great odds of scoring against Palmeiras. It's unreal, guys. I don't think he's gonna drop below 5. But come on, he's such an enabler for 4.1 million. Like, you gotta have him. He's a captaincy option, first game of the round of 16. If you want to go that way, I would captain John, the keeper, if you have him, just because he can easily give you a 10 pointer with all those things said earlier. But Igor Jesus is another great option to have in your team. Like, he's such an enabler for 4.1 million. But yeah, let me talk about other players, I guess, that you guys could look at. Um, Dembele, risky with a minute situation. Cole Palmer, if you want to pick him, go ahead. Like I said, Benfica and Chelsea, very unpredictable in my opinion. I would stay away from that. Coleman's a good pick. We don't know exactly how Bayern gonna shape up. I think Musiala and Elise start, but if you want to pick Coleman, I mean, like I said, I feel like if Coleman doesn't start, you kind of already lost a lot of value there. Due, I think, is a good pick. He's likely to start, right? Against Inter Miami, if you don't want to pick Kvara, or if you're budgeted out of Kvara, Due is a really good alternative. Foden, risky minutes. And then also, whoever Man City plays is going to be a tough game. Valverde, I think, is a good pick. Valverde just seems to be that guy that always can contribute against any team, guys. Valverde is really good. Turkoglu, free to have a captaincy option in that Benfica Chelsea game. I like it, okay? I don't know why, but I like him more than Palmer. Turkoglu. If we do know he starts. Di Maria as well. Same can be said for Di Maria to give you a captaincy option there. Cherky, I honestly like him better than Foden. I think he's looking more lively in the games compared to Foden. Guys like, if you know Gittins plays, I don't think he will. Like, Adeyemi, I think is a good pick against Monterrey. Gittins, if he plays, I think is a good pick against Monterrey. But yeah, Brandt, I think can end up being a good pick against Monterrey and on to the next round as well. Brandt has shown to be a guy that can help a Dortmund side get to places even like a Champions League final. I think is a valid pick. I'm probably not going with him, but if you want to pick him, good pick in my opinion. Decent pick. Arda Güler, good pick. If he's likely to start every game really. There's a chance he starts every game is what I'm trying to say, and he's a good pick. He's shown promise as a youngster. But yeah, those teams that I talked to you guys that I feel like are gonna advance, I feel like players from their teams are all valid guys. Target the low ownership guys, okay? Target, because those scouting bonus go a long way, guys, okay? Kimmich I like a lot. He's just that guy in tough games that can show up. Ascaeta, I feel like there's a good chance Flamengo can score. If you want to pick Ascaeta, I don't blame you. I see it as a good pick. Fluminense, I just think are going to ultimately have a tough time, guys, against Inter Milan. Can Arias score against Inter Milan? Sure. I think it's low odds, though, but I could see it happening. I don't think it's anything crazy. If you want to, sure. Like, he's super involved in the Fluminense side. But I do think Inter come out of that matchup. Vitinha, a great pick. Like, again, he's in the team. Guys like Gundogan, I don't know. Gundogan just seems to be that guy that when you pick him in a fantasy, he finds a way to deliver, you know. In those tougher matchups, like, you know, that we might have, like City playing good teams, he could be a guy that is a surprise return getter, right? But yeah. Francisco Conceição, I thought about having him in the team. I think obviously Juve are already basically through. They're confirmed to go through. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Francisco Conceição is going to be a good pick for you. 5.7 million, kind of acting as an enabler in the midfield. I like him. I just didn't pick him because I think the minutes with him can be risky, and he's kind of that guy where it's a really hit or miss kind of a player. He can deliver you like a haul, and then he can go and play 50 minutes, get subbed off. Like, it's, yeah, I don't know. And he's probably lost already the scouting bonus, so. But yeah, I'll leave it at that, guys. If there's any picks that you guys think I missed that are, you know, good options, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments if I helped you guys at all with these picks and any questions you guys may have. But yeah, you guys have a great rest of your day and good luck on this upcoming round, guys.